The difficulty in interviewing witnesses has been depicted by the media in almost every story that involves a detective. Testimonies from eyewitnesses have been proven by Rand Corporation in 1975 to be of vital importance in determining whether a case was solved or not. Our memory, however, can be altered by suggestibility, distortions, stress, mental illnesses, biased emotions, or simply deteriorate over time. Furthermore, the way that an interview is conducted and the phrasing of the interviewer's question can also play a huge effect on the accuracy of memory retrieval. Flawed questioning techniques, such as the use of leading questions, may prime the witness in providing answers that the interviewer would like to hear, influencing the validity and outcome of the testimony. Take this question, for example. How fast would you estimate John's car was traveling over the speed limit when he lost control of his vehicle and slammed into the victim's car? This question heavily implies that John's at fault for going over the speed limit, which resulted in the collision. Similarly, close-ended questions like, "Did you steal the diamonds?" or "Where did you steal the diamonds?" limits the options that the interviewee could give, distorting the reality of the scenario, thus affecting the process of memory retrieval. The unreliable nature of memory retrieval, mixed with a series of flawed questioning techniques, thus creates obstacles for detectives in uncovering the truth. If you're new to this channel is dedicated to exploring ideas. Hit the subscribe button if you're into that sort of thing, and hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. The cognitive interview model was created by researchers Edward Geiselman and Ronald Fisher. Developed in 1984, the cognitive interview model was created as a response to the ineffective standard interview model used by detectives. The cognitive interview uses 4 general memory retrieval rules referred to as mnemonics and additional supplementary techniques to increase the accuracy of eyewitness testimony. The 4 general memory retrieval rules are based on the encoding specificity principle introduced by Thompson and Toving, which states that cues presented will be more effective in facilitating recall when the cues have some degrees of similarity to the cues that were presented at the time of encoding. A student, for example, will have an easier time recalling the memorized materials during a test if he had studied in the same room where the exam is taken. The encoding principle thus opened the door of possibilities for memory retrieval. With this principle in mind, Geiselman and Fisher developed the following rules for memory retrieval. The first rule is the mental reinstatement of environmental and personal contexts, where the participant is invited to mentally revisit the to-be-remembered event. During this process, the participant will be asked to form a mental picture of the environment and to revisit the mental state during the event. The motivation behind this process is to increase the feature overlap between initial witnessing and the subsequent retrieval contexts. The second rule is the process of in-depth reporting, where the participant is encouraged to report every little detail of the event, making no exception of how seemingly irrelevant or small the detail is. Not only will this process lead to a subsequent recall of additional relevant information, but more importantly, during the standard interview, participants may only initially report information that they presume to be relevant. Participants generally have no idea what information will be valuable. Encouraging them to report everything thus becomes an essential step in revealing the details of an event. The third rule is to describe the to-be-remembered event in several orders. Once a narrative of an event is constructed by the participant, he or she will be invited to start the narrative from a different point in time. Through this process, new perspectives of the event may arise, allowing opportunities for new information to be recalled. Similarly to the third rule, the fourth rule of the CI model invites the participant to report the event from different perspectives. If the participant witnesses a car crash, for example, the interviewer might ask, "What do you think the guy at the hot dog stand saw?" This allows the participant to explore the event in a new lens. Additional supplementary techniques are also employed to evoke specific details of an event. These include questions such as inquiring about the suspect's physical appearance, objects, and speech characteristics. By familiarizing detectives with this revolutionary method, the cognitive interview model's success soon became evident and indisputable. Through a field study in 1989, Fisher and his colleagues showcased that detectives trained in the CI model are able to obtain 47% more detail compared to the detectives who are unfamiliar with the model. The legitimacy and success of the CI model is later reaffirmed in 1996 by Brian Clifford and Richard George, who observed that the London police officers trained in the CI model were able to display improved questioning and information gathering behaviors. Over the years, the cognitive interview model has been slowly making its way into the police community. Yet, the adoption of this method of questioning is still not as common for multiple reasons. The first reason being that the cognitive interview model is only applicable and useful to certain witnesses. The process of the interviews is also significantly more time-consuming. More importantly, in order for the cognitive interview model to be highly accurate, interviewers must go through the intense and in-depth training on the model. Faced with these concerns, departments claim that they do not have the resources to invest in the CI model and choose to stick with their detective's intuition and other standardized interview approaches. Until the day where a Black Mirror-like gadget can project memories into a screen is made available, the best method to retrieve an eyewitness's memory is undoubtedly the enhanced cognitive interview model. With proper technique and the right amount of reports supplemented with the proper environment, memories can be accessed by detectives in a way that would yield a higher rate of accuracy than using unsystematic methods of interviewing.